What's going on? All right, another Sunday, another good day. Thank God for this day, and let it be a great day for everybody. But yeah, I mean, this video, I wanted to talk about a very interesting topic, and I heard this quote the other day from Alex Hormozy, and the quote read like this. He said, "Everyone wants to be exceptional, but no one wants to be the exception." And that sounded very familiar because I told my friend about this the other day, and I said, look, many people are on path to get to destination A, and most of those people would like to get to destination X, but nobody is willing to put in the work required to get to destination X. And the work that is required, and something that is a requirement, every single time a requirement to get to a place where no one has ever gone to, or get to a place that people don't think you can get to, is you have to create a different path. You can't get to place X by taking the path on place A, if that makes sense. No one has ever gotten to a place to become exceptional. Every single time, it's someone who strayed away from the rest of the pack in order to take the risk to get the path X. And the saddest part about this is that the second part of the quote, but nobody wants to be the exception, is that when you take a different path, human nature, we subconsciously, especially your friends, your friends will always be judging you, right? And sometimes you may have friends that never do this, right? But subconsciously, friends will always be judging you, and they'll always be comparing themselves to you. The reason being is that because that you're their friend, most likely you're around the same age group. Maybe you're around the same type of environment. You're in the same, your coworkers, or maybe you go to school together, something like that. But in their mind, they've developed this idea that you have the same amount of advantages and disadvantages as them. So when one person does better than the other, automatically they will become jealousy. There might be some hatred in their heart because as a part, they kind of felt that you were on the same level as them, and the fact that you've left them or strayed away from that path is scary, because there is a possibility of you succeeding, and that would mean that they would be behind, and that you would be better. And you might say, well, why don't people want you to do good? And that's the thing, is that people want you to do good, right? Everyone wants you to do good, just nobody wants you to do better than them, right? And that goes for most people, right? And it could even go for family. So everyone wants you to be doing good, but no one wants you to be doing better than them. And yeah, I mean, the reason why that quote sounded so familiar is because for many times in my life, I've always tried to do something different, right? Not on purpose to like stand out or to be pick me or whatever, but I always try to get to a different destination than most people want to get to, right? And I remember for most things that I've done, I've always received hate from friends, from family, from coworkers, from whatever it is. Whenever I was trying to do something different, whenever I was trying to get after it, I always received some, look, this guy's chopping me for what? What the hell is this guy doing? This guy's crazy. And California has just the worst drivers. It's just terrible. But anyways, and that was what you just saw him go around me. That's not even a lane. That's the lane for the cars going this way. So that was completely illegal, but it's okay. But anyways, the thing is that whenever I've tried to do anything exceptional in my life, right, I've received so much hate from it, right, from my friends, but I never held it against them, and I never held it against them, and I never stopped being friends with them just because they hated on me for taking a different path, because I've always recognized that it's human nature, right, and that in most cases everyone does this, And because I've recognized it myself, I've tried not to do it myself. You know, when there's someone who's my age, who's done better than me, your mindset shouldn't be, well, he doesn't deserve that. Well, you know, the only reason that happened is because he got lucky. For me, I always would, whenever that would happen to me, I would be thinking, well, how do I get there? You know what I'm saying? Well, if he can do it, I can do it, right? And you need to be in that mindset of, well, if they can do it, then I can definitely do it. And that's how you need to start, you know, thinking about it. But yeah, in order, you know, for me, I'll give you a couple examples, right? I'll give you a couple examples in my life. It's the best way to like kind of explain this. And maybe you can relate to this and maybe you can't. I don't know if most people can. I'm speaking to a specific type of person. But I remember when I was like 15, 16 years old. I'm 17 years old, by the way. When I was like 15 years old, I wanted to get a job. I remember telling that to my friends and they were like, oh yeah, we should get jobs. And then I remember everyone was just saying like, we should do this, we should do that. And then I actually started, you know, I made a resume, and then I started, you know, going to different job places and saying, can I speak to the manager, and talking to the guy. And I got a job within like a week. And I was working at a retail store, Old Navy, and I was working at Old Navy. And I remember after getting that Old Navy job, I was getting hated on by, you know, my friends. Like, they'd be like, oh, he probably has to work, this and that. Where it's not like, it doesn't sound like hate, per se, but they are kind of just like picking at you. I remember when, before, you know, in freshman year, I'm a senior now. In freshman year, in 8th grade, starting in 8th grade, I was a pretty chubby kid. And I remember I told people, I said, you know, I want to lose the weight, I want to look good, and I want to get more girls. That's what I said. And I remember when I started running and being really consistent in running, you know, friends were telling me, like, and I started going to bed really early and waking up early. And I remember, like, you know, I would see in the group chat, like, they would be going down and like, oh wait, invite Josiah, and there would be some, you know, people saying like, no, it's past his bedtime, or like, no, you know, he thinks he's too good for us, this and that, you know. And in reality, you know, I you know, what I really wanted to do was just work. You know, people were talking shit and I just wanted to get after it. And that was the same thing for the job. You know, they're talking shit and I didn't say anything, bro. I just kept working. And I remember I said, you know, I wanted to start a business. And I remember it was my sophomore year, and I was telling people, and I said, I'm going to start a business. What I want to do is I want to go to restaurants and create them videos. And then I think that would be something cool to put on my college app. So I remember telling all my friends that. And the next year in junior year, starting of junior year, within like the first month or two, I had already gotten like 6 or 7 restaurants that I started making videos for. I charged each one like, you know, $500. So, you know, I started making a bit extra money. Plus I was working, and then people saw that and they were like, you know, and then I got hate for that too. But then now people see, like, you start to develop a little bit of progress, and now everyone wants to start a business, right? Everyone thinks they can start a business, you know, and that's what I experienced. And then the biggest example is is the situation that I was going through, and I am going through right now. It was the end of my junior year in high school. I had realized that my video production business, the money wasn't really all there. It's like you can only really charge $500 a video. Each video takes like a full day or two to make. So it wasn't worth it. And I was looking for another business to get into. And I knew I was really good at sales because I was top sales at Old Navy for selling their Old Navy credit card. And I really love sales. So I thought, you know what, I need to get into some sales. And it was when I came across this video on my For You page. I guess it's not For You, it's YouTube Shorts. I don't know if they have, it's like, you know, just the home page. Came across this video of these two brothers named Oliver and Josh Lester talking about, you can make $250 an hour, $500 an hour doing this, right? And, you know, obviously I was the idiot to believe that was true. And, you know, that's what people think, like, you're the idiot to believe that's true. And I ended up thinking, you know what, I should start getting into this. So I planned, and I thought, you know, this is the way to go. I'm gonna go all in on this. And I started telling people, I said, you know, you won't see me at school next year in senior year. I'm gonna be doing it online, and focusing on business, and focusing on, you know, working, helping my mom, such and such. And, you know, I received plenty of hate for that, obviously. And I remember, I want to provide you this one specific example where I told my friend this, and my friend, you know, the words ended up coming out of his mouth. He said, "You're gonna fail, you're gonna fail." He said, "You're gonna become a bum." The hell? He said, "You're gonna fail, you're gonna become a bum. You know, it's not gonna work out, you're not gonna make any money." And like I said, I always understood, because I've dealt with that many times. I always understood, when you try to do good, when you try to do something different, take another path, people will hate. And I've understood why that is, so I never hold it against people. And I just told him, I said, you know, I can see the way you think that. And I said, but I'm going to prove you wrong. And if you flash, you know, forward to today, the other night, you know, I'm still friends with that guy. I never hold it against anybody. And I called him and I said, you know, "Hey, do you want to go out to sushi?" And he said he was out with my group of friends. And he said, "Oh yeah, well, we just ate." And I said, "Well, don't worry, it's on me. I'm going to pay for everyone's dinner." And then obviously everyone, when they hear free food, they want to jump in. And I remember he was driving on the road, and I saw his car. And at this time I was in the Porsche, and he was driving, and I saw his car, and I sped past him. I did a downshift and, you know, revved it. And, you know, obviously, you know, like, I like to, you know, stay humble, but, you know, it was pretty cool. Just like, I know that he saw me, and then when we parked later, I got out of that car. And, you know, when people see something like that, you know, when you roll up to the fucking In-N-Out, and your classmates see you in the drive-thru and, like, in a really nice car, obviously, I in my opinion, I think the best advice is don't be flashy until you actually have money. And I don't have that type of money yet to be flashy. To be honest, I'm just that type of person. Like, I just, sometimes it, you know, gets the better of me, and I want to be flashy, but yeah, you know, you don't want to be flashy. But I remember, like, when you're the type of person to pull to the In-N-Out, when you see people's face, when that happens, when they see you in something where they see the success, you know what I mean? It's different when you tell people that you're going to do something, when they hear you saying that you're going to be successful, and to where they actually see it with their eyes, because the seeing is believing. And where they see it, it's that one moment you can see it in their eyes. And honestly, this keeps me going. It's like a fuel of, like, where people will click, and they'll start to kind of, that wheel will start to turn in their head, while they realize, like, fuck, I'm behind, you know, like, I'm not at that level. And they start to, you know, that turns, and then it starts turning into hate. Well, they'll be like, well, you got lucky, this and that. And the answer is no. I was just consistent, and I was just hungrier than you did, and I just wanted it more. And that's just pretty much the answer to that question. What up? I'm about to head into the Starbucks drive-thru to get my daily Starbucks in. I shouldn't do this, you know. I think, what's that one old dude that, like, tells people not to buy coffee every day? He would have a heart attack, because I literally have the same thing at Starbucks every single day. But in order for me to have experienced those feelings, right, I had to actually first experience the feelings of I actually had to first, hold up, I'm about to order. In order for me to have gotten to that place, and I don't think, honestly, I will tell you right now, put my, you know, I don't know, what is it, right hand, put my right hand on my heart, honest to God, hand on the Bible, I don't think, if you would ask me, are you successful, I would say no. And if you were to ask my mom, is Josiah successful, she would say yes, right? It's people's outside view. But honestly, my idea of success, I haven't reached there yet, and I'm going to reach there. And I think that, but in order for me to have reached that place where people start to see progress, I first had to go through the pain of where I was made fun of, I was ridiculed, you know, my friends didn't like me anymore for a while. You know, nobody wanted to hang out with me, you know. Nobody wanted to hang out with me. And, you know, to say that it didn't hurt me would be a lie. But, you know, many people would talk shit about me, even friends. And even now to this day, people talk about me. And, you know, my response to that is like, at first, like the human nature response, and I'll give you an example of like when I first started making YouTube videos of me like selling window cleaning over the summer. When I first started making those videos, I got a lot of hate from like people, right? Because they would say things like, "Oh, it's probably his parents' windows." You know, people hate on me, like, "How can you charge this much for windows?" And it's like I wanted to, you know, obviously respond to those comments like, "Well, no, buddy, like this and that," you know, have some backlash. People are so annoying, but. Dude, this iced gingerbread fucking latte shit, bro, is so fucking good. It's so good, bro. But yeah, basically, put it back in real quick. That's good. Yeah, but let me leave you with this. Okay, so that last thing, and this is something that I always tell people. And this isn't a quote I got from anywhere. I don't know if you'll be able to find it somewhere. But I don't think I got this from anywhere. And I started saying this in my sophomore year. I remember saying it for the first time. I was like, "Oh, that's fire." So I remember it. And I told my friend this. I said, in order to do the things that other people want to do, you have to do the things that they don't want to do. And yeah, I think that's probably one of the, they should fucking make a shirt from that shit, bro. It's fucking tough. Let me repeat that again. In order to do the things that people want to do, you have to do the things that people don't want to do. Think about it. All right, that's all I had to leave you guys with. But I head to church. Y'all like the new haircut? I'm trying to grow out a mullet. But yeah, all right, I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.